Welcome to your everyday stretching. Today is going to be an easy one, but you can do this every single day or even twice a day. This is something that I do at night right before bed when me and my husband, watch a movie or a show in their movie room. I always make sure to stretch. It's one of my favorite stretches, and I'll be showing you a lot of hip mobility, and this is going to dramatically improve your overall flexibility. If you do this twice a day, say for example, right when you wake up and before bedtime, you will really benefit from this and you'll feel a lot younger. All right, without further ado, all you will need is, as always, yourself, and you don't need a mat on this one, but of course you can grab your mat, but you can do this on the couch or on the bed, making sure it's not too soft, and let's jump right in. Okie dokie, we're gonna start in baddha konasana or butterfly pose. Our couch is actually pretty big, so it's kind of almost like a bed. So, you want to just adjust yourself if you have that regular couch that is elongated or more of a rectangular shape. Okay, so in your baddha konasana, you can start your feet farther from your pelvis, but then eventually, or, as you do this more often, you want to really get that, heels as close to your pelvis as much as possible without rounding your back. Okay, so I'm going to show you my sides. So you just have your hands touch your toes depending on how you feel here, and we're going to do this pulsing motion with our butterfly pose, making sure as always that your back is straight, right? So the goal in any fold is not really head to toe or head to mat, right? It is always making sure that your spine is straight. And by that, just following the natural arch of your back. And then you want to open your butt cheeks, right? So if you do this, you want to really open the right butt cheek, good, and then the left. I always say this in my videos because then you feel that, you're so grounded and you actually get that anterior tilt that you want when you're folding, right? So there's a difference when you have your butt is like this and you're in, your posterior tilt and you're doing this, right? There's nothing really much going on. You want to stick out your butt and open the butt cheeks and then fold. Good. So we're just folding, and while I'm watching, for example, a show or a movie, I'm just taking my time here. So you can spend as long as you like on this position. And then one thing that I like is I grab my toes and I'm starting to kind of flutter the butterfly wings, right? So this will really help with that, you feel that in your inner thighs. And you're not really like bam, bam, right? Just being gentle and just to where your end range is, right? So you want to just kind of feel that inner thighs kind of getting more flexible, right? Good. Now inhale, always lengthening the spine. And exhale, you're going to fold all the way down. Again, it doesn't matter if your head is not on the ground. You could actually just stay here. If you're already feeling your rounding, again, bring it up and stay there where you can keep your back straight. Eventually, you will be able to drop all the way down with that natural curve of your back. Breathe. Good. Now, I like to kind of bring one knee up and then drop and then the other. While getting that feet still connected or, still touching, and then doing this. So this way you also mobilize the ankles. Remember, the ankle is really important to also get your hip mobility. So everything is interconnected, right? You want everything as good as possible. This will also help your malasana or your yogi squat. Good. All right, now some more. And then get it closer, heels towards the bum or your pelvis. And then maybe now you're reaching all the way forward and stretching your arms as well. Breathe. All right, now when you feel that kind of inner thighs is getting oh wow, right? It is intense. Then I start to straighten my legs, coming to your Skandasana, L-shaped position with your legs. Now again, opening the butt cheeks to the right and to the left. Now see that automatically get you that anterior pelvis tilt or pelvic tilt. Good. Now inhale, stretch your arms all the way up, and exhale, gonna fold all the way down. And then I like to just stay here as long as I like, probably about 5-10 minutes even when I'm watching, right? Sometimes I don't even realize it and I'm staying there for so long. But of course, that's exaggerated, right? It depends on how you're currently feeling. Good. And with this stretch, I like my feet flex, so I really get that backs of my legs. Woo. And then sometimes I touch my, bottom of my feet with my hands this way, and then go from here, like arching the back and then folding. Breathe in to straighten, and then breathe out. You're really not back bending. I just say arching the back because then when you think of that, you get that anterior tilt automatically, right? So you always want that belly and thigh connection, like I always say in my videos, right? So yeah, you could just like do this and watch your movie or show. All right. It's going to get a little bit intense as we progress. With that, we're going to bend the right knee and cross it to the other leg. Okay, we're going to do the twist. This is now one of the things that really will help improve your flexibility. You always want to do the twist, morning and nighttime. You got to do it. All right, making sure the heel with that straight leg is grounded and toes are up. And now you're going to hug your knee with the left hand. So I like to do this first. See how I peel my right shoulder back and then twist, right? Kind of preparing myself. And then I inhale, or the other one, and then exhale, drop. So either way, you could inhale here, exhale here, right? So whatever you feel good. Ideally, you want to target that thigh touching the descending colon, which is the opposite side of your belly, right? So if you're over here and your thigh is touching the right side, meaning you need to twist some more, right? You want it the opposite, and that's the purpose of the twist, to really, get your fecal matter moving in your digestion. So inhale, left hand arms all the way up, and I like to really bend to the right side, and then exhale, I'm gonna have my hands forward and to the side. This way, I really get that twist going and then looking back. Good. So now when my screen is over there or I'm watching, I face there and I stay here for long periods of time. And then you want to just really breathe. With each exhalation, breathe in, exhale, you want to twist deeper. Good. And then I stay there for long periods of time. Now, when you get that really going with your twist, you can now thread, right? So this is a lot more advanced. So if you're not here, that's okay. But you can try this with me to see where your current end range is, right? So you're going to thread that left arm to that leg that's bent. And then palm is facing back. Okay, from there, you're going to try to see if you could let go of this hand on the ground. This requires a lot of stability, right? Sometimes you kind of like wobble. So actually, when you're on the couch or on the bed, you could really just like kind of prep yourself. Straighten your spine, look back, and then see if you could let go of the hands and breathe in. Swipe your hand all the way back. Exhale, you're going to try to clasp your fingertips to bind. And at this point, my screen is in front of me over there. So I kind of roll around on the couch. And I get massages with my, from my husband too, which is great. We massage each other a lot. Okay, so now you could even play with that shoulder to roll back. This is a lot intense too, so you don't need to push it. Again, just where you could, get your end range. The longer you stay, the better the twist. And it's always going to improve, I promise you. Do it morning, do it nighttime, and do this every single day. This is something you could really go back to every single day. And it's so good. I like to do this too. When we are in the movie room, it's after dinner. So I like to really help my digestion because I have a lot of gut issues. This is one of the ways for me to really get my gut just feeling good, because I have leaky gut, I have IBS, I have SIBO, I have a lot of gut issues. I also have PCOS or PCOS. And yeah, imagine all that. That's a lot. That's a really, really painful gut. I also have Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. I said that, SIBO. IBS, did I say? All right, we're just talking because this is good. This is just lots of holds. All right, to release, you want to release the bind first and then let go of the hand a little bit and then slowly, right? When you feel that, you want to really feel that kind of blood flow getting back, right? Because there's some stopping motion for the blood flow there, right? And then you feel kind of like, ooh, rejuvenated. All right, now you're gonna untangle that cross leg and you're gonna do that on the other side. Okay, so left knee bends. And again, you're gonna cross that left foot outside of the right leg. And again, now this is gonna be intense. I like to hug with my opposite elbow all the time, and then kind of like start here. Again, this might be a lot more advanced to a lot of you, or depending on your, if you're still a beginner, this might be impossible, right? So you want to start with right hand sweeping all the way up, breathing in, and exhale, twist to the opposite side, and then again, sweep that right hand towards that straight leg. Good. Now, being mindful of that straight leg, the femur should always be neutral. So you're not sagging down, you're not opening out, or external, internal rotation. Neutral position, because this is just important for your proprioception, right? As you get mindful with each, pose, just one day you'll realize that, oh, your body's just going there dramatically without so much adjustment. When you flow naturally, right? I'm gonna stop right here, right? It will just like, oh, wow. Sometimes when you start with, or just a beginner flowing, you always adjust, little tweaks, stepping forward and back to get you there. But once you get your proprioception good, this is really, really gonna help. Little things like that. And we're just talking, we're not rushing, we're pretending that we're watching a movie or a show. And again, now that you feel that with each exhalation you're twisting deeper, right? Now, maybe you can bind. Again, this arm will thread behind or underneath that leg, and palm is facing back. Now find that comfortable spot. For me, it is within that upper hip bone, onto the right side or whichever is that you're doing. And then from here, left hand will sweep all the way back, breathe in. And exhale, you're gonna try to bind. Again, twist some more. Now, this time, since the left leg is bent, you're targeting the ascending colon, which is the right side of your belly, right? So you want to really target it, twist some more, trying to get that straight spine as you twist. Staying there, being mindful of your form. Even if you're watching, you want to be mindful. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And breathing out, let go of the bind and the threading, slow and controlled, and then coming to our figure 4 shape. Good. Now from the figure 4, I just like to really pulse some more or do some fold as I flex the foot all the way towards your shin, right? See how much you could flex. I know, it is intense. Sorry. I did not start this way, I promise. I was very stiff even in my toes. Before yoga, I couldn't even spread my toes this way. I really just started to feel each toe with practice. It's amazing. All right. And all the way up, you're going to do that on the other side. So figure 4 shape on the other leg and fold. Breathe in, lengthen, exhale to fold. Good. And feel that, right? If you feel that, now whichever is touching. I like to feel that touch with your leg or whatever part of your belly, because this just helps so much. I like to kind of compress my belly all the time. For gut pain, you want to really keep on sometimes I even touch my, I try to feel my diaphragm. There's this book by Jill Miller. I'm going to flash it here on the screen. Jill Miller is one of my husband's authors. If you didn't know, my husband owns a publishing house, and this is a great book. I just started browsing it a few days ago. It's just like, holy smokes, a lot of information, body by breath. I love it. I geek out on those things, and it's so interesting. She was talking about diaphragm and how she's like trying to grab it. And I was like, whoa, I didn't even know that, because I just like do that unintentionally because I'm always curious about my body. All right, that's pretty good. With that length of how much you've like twisted, you probably are so much like better with your belly and just like the twist. All right, next is we're gonna do a pigeon variation. So bend both knees. Like instead of, because when sometimes it's so long, right? If you're on the couch, it's limited space. So I do this kind of both bent knees of the pigeon variation. And then from whichever is in front, mine is the left leg, you're gonna twist to the opposite side. Okay, so first, your right hand will grab the outside of the left knee. So opposite. Okay, if it's the left foot or left leg, it's the opposite. So grab it from the outside. Your left hand will sweep all the way up. Breathe in. And exhale, you're just going to bend to the opposite direction of that right hand. And stay here in that twist. You feel this twist in the sides of that other arm, right? Side of your body. And this crossing motion has a huge impact with a twist. So you're feeling this in the like opposite lumbar where you're doing the twist and then doing this, right? It helps so much. Twisting and side bending both at the same time. And now you can play with your toes, trying to see and get a feel if you like it both pointed or, just relaxing and just flexing. Ooh. And then sometimes I like to kind of help that, right? You feel your scapula with the other hand, if you can reach it. Lift it all the way up to help with that stretch, and then really feel this compression on the side body, and the other one is lengthening. Good. Just breathing normally. Good. All the way, coming back up. How are you feeling, right? Get a feel of it. We're pretending again, we're watching. All right, now we're gonna do the Skandasana drops. Well, that's my term. Basically, you're just gonna stretch the right leg and then lifting that left knee up. So wherever you are in the couch, you could just adjust yourself, right? And then from here, why is it Skandasana drop? Because you're just gonna drop the knee, right? I like to do this every morning, and some of you might be following me on Instagram and you might see me doing this in time lapse. This is just left knee drops and then bringing it up, right? It's important to do an internal rotation of your hip joints, which I think is not really, it's very underrated. So you're just doing this gently, right? Your knee might not be all the way down, and that's fine. You're just really trying and you're starting to rotate it internally, right? Because this is not accessible to anybody, or to everyone rather. But then you just want to be gentle and be mindful. So notice that your left butt cheek is lifted as you do this, right? So whatever is you're bending and dropping down. Skandasana drops. Good. And this doesn't really matter, if you're outside or inside. Technically, it will be outside because it's hard to keep it like a neutral position. You're just really working on the internal rotation of the other hip socket. And as I'm watching, I'm just like, oh, relaxing doing this. Good. Now, as you drop, you're going to try to twist your torso to the opposite side, to the right. Good. So if you're high up here, just twist here, right? So wherever you are. All right, now come back. And then we're going to do that on the other side. First, pigeon stretch, or variation with bent knees. I like to do both ways, as you might already know, right? Pointing and flexing, just to get a feel of both. Good. Now, opposite side, right knee in front. I'm gonna have my left hand touch the outside of my right knee. So find your stable spot. There's really no right or wrong. You're just stretching. Okay, from there, right hand sweeps all the way up. Breathe in. And exhale, you're gonna bend to the left side. If it's your right hand up. And just stay here. Again, you want to cross and twist and bend. Again, if it's not accessible to you, of course, if that's hard because someone might not be reaching that properly, you could just reach wherever you feel that good stretch of crossing motion, right? That's kind of what we're trying to do here. Good. Now I like to, again, touch my scapula with the opposite hand, bringing it all the way up. Good. Release slowly back to your center, straightening the left leg, and then bringing the right knee all the way up for our Skandasana drops. Good. Adjust yourself. And we're going to drop the right knee down towards the midline and bringing it up. Again, focusing on that hip socket. Right? So imagine me like watching a show or a movie, just doing all the things. And notice as you drop the knee down, you can actually really just rotate, twist your torso all the way and see where you're at, right? It's always good to see people that are kind of like more advanced in their flexibility, like, oh my gosh, I didn't know, when I watch other people do it, and they're like, whoa, I didn't know that you could get that end range, right? So it's like good to really, I love learning from so many different teachers. Yay! Keep on going. We're not rushing. We're relaxing. This is my kind of morning yoga too. I don't like to push it too hard, but just like twisting is definitely one of those morning things. All right, now we're going to stay knee down and twist yourself and breathe. Beautiful. Now release. And we're going to do that on the opposite side. Notice first how you're feeling, right? That's a lot of hip mobility. Whew. So, okay. So now we're going to do this same thing, pigeon stretch, but this time we're going to twist some more. There's a lot of twists here. All right, with the knee forward, and then this time I like to face my knee. So the knee is not outside anymore. So this is a different stretch, right? From this, I like the knee just in between my midline, or in between, on the midline. And then left knee, opposite or opposite arm will be on the couch or mat, dropping the elbow, and then I like to twist, prayer position, and really focusing on having that thumbs towards the heart space or the midline. It doesn't have to, but that's the goal, because it's impossible. It's going to be a little bit more not to the center, and that's fine, but that's the goal. So as you do that, you're lifting your heart space up and release. I just like to do that very quickly and then doing that on the opposite side. Woo! Good. Now from here, again, right elbow drops down on the couch, on the mat, and then find your stable spot with the legs. So adjust yourself where you can actually have your hands in a prayer position and twist all the way up. Again, thumbs towards the heart space. Again, inhale, and then exhale, push all the way up. A few more. And release slowly. Whew. At this point, I'm already very much high. All right. Next is we're going to do some Gomukhasana. All right. So this is one of my ultimate favorites, and I always do this. All right. So whatever leg you want, Gomukhasana or cow face pose, we're going to have my right knee first up. At least for me, whatever you want. And then from here, I start to wiggle and watch a show or the movie. Wiggling, pushing my feet. And sometimes I also have a Theragun. I massage my feet, my legs, every part of my body. I have my husband do my back. We do it to each other a lot. And then I do some twisting as I press my feet down. Good. Now from there, let's do the arms. Right knee up, left hand will sweep all the way up. Breathe in. And then same with the other one. And behind. Exhale as you clasp your fingertips. If this is new to you, you can watch my other videos for a more in-depth of this konasana. But I feel like a lot of you are always here. And so, yeah. Now when I'm on the couch, I don't really do a lot of rib cage in because I'm not really trying to aim for a strong practice. I'm just stretching. So for me, I'm just like, okay, what feels good for me at the moment, right? And then maybe locking, I don't know, whatever I'm doing, just really getting a feel of the shoulders. Such an intense stretch, right? Good. And then let's take a fold and up. All right. Release the bind. Woo! And then forward or fold to release the back. Woo! That's intense. All right. Now, again, I do compass pose all of the time. If you guys are always here, you know. All right, we're going to grab it. This is what I do, literally on the couch. My husband makes fun of me, but it's okay. Okay, I always do this at night now that I was able to do my leg behind head. So I do the compass pose, so grabbing the ankle or the outside of your feet, foot with the opposite hand as you straighten the right leg. The knee is behind your right shoulder, right? So compass pose. And now this really doesn't matter for me if I want my sit bones grounded or not. I just play with it and I really hold this position. Like I literally watch a show doing this. Rotating my ankles. Like it just feels so good. At least for me. Hello. And then playing with the butt cheeks, lifting up and down, twisting my torso, loving the twist, so good for your digestion. Right hand sweeps behind. You could even play with this bird of paradise variation of a compass pose, whatever you want to call this. And then I play with this bind, pointing the toes and dropping it down. This is what I do, believe it or not. My yoga is not just on the mat, literally everywhere. I love to stretch. Now again, it's up to you if you just want to stay in one position, right? I'm just taking you to really what I do. I do more. Sometimes I do a lot of back bends too, but I'm not going to take you to a complete back bend routine this time. I feel like I want to show that to you on the couch. All right. To be more accurate, because I utilize the armrest too. All right. Now we shaky, and then it's just like, watch, and then we're going to do the other side. When you're ready, we're going to start in Gomukhasana or cow face arms. I'm going to face the side so you can see my arms this time. Left knee is up, and then wiggle some more the butt cheeks to fully ground you again, and steady. Torso is straight up, and then right hand sweeps all the way up at the same time with the left hand behind. Breathe in. Exhale, you're going to bend both your elbows to clasp your fingertips behind. Good. And then adjust yourself here. And, stretching or locking your core rib cage down depending on how you're feeling. Breathe. This is also such a great way for you to feel, which is, of course, tighter for your arms. There's always going to be that one side. But if you have scoliosis like me, it's exaggerated. So my right scapula is so hard. That's why I always have to try to kind of push it or help it with my hand because it really hurts. And, it always has that popping bone to bone thing. All right, we're almost done here. Inhale. Exhale to fold if you like. All right. Exhale, release. Fold a little bit. Ooh, intense. Shaky, shaky, compass pose coming up next. Straightening the right left leg and grabbing it with the right hand and compass pose. Let's do this. Twist to the right, maybe twist to the left. Really firmly root that right leg down in the right butt cheek, right? And then again, I like my left hand behind, breathing in. Exhale, bend, and palm facing back, release the foot, point the toes all the way up, and grab your fingertips behind and playing with this movement. Bending the knee and straightening the knee. This is a great way to really help with your hamstrings, right? So straightening and bending in this compass pose is going to improve your bird of paradise, your standing splits, and everything in your hip mobility. Right. Keep on going. Ooh. And we're going to end in back bend, just a gentle one. We're not going to do crazy, but this is what I do also on the couch before bed. All right? Drop. Let go of the bind and shake it up. All right, now I come on my belly. So what I do is that I do a half bow. So this is what I do on the couch. Imagine I'm watching again, and then you want to really bend one knee, and then I grab the inside of my ankle. I've shown this already in one of my videos, which is a deep back bend, right? Some of you might know this. And then I lift my knee up from the mat or the couch and all the way up. Now from this, I really twist, right? So your forearms, you want to twist, trying to square your hips. The squarer the hips is, of course, the deeper the stretch, and then lifting all the way up. Again, bringing it down a little bit, squaring the hips, but your torso is not squared, obviously. You're just grabbing one leg and lifting it up, playing with this. You will feel which kind of side is a lot more flexible when you do one side at a time. Point the toes, and you're not relaxed. I'm not relaxed. I really do this, and then I watch. You know, sometimes I even do my flip grip. So you want your flip. This is not how to get a flip grip, but if you're already there, you're just basically going to grab your foot from the outside. So you really want to twist. This way, since we did a lot of the twists, you're going to be able to grab it easier, right? So you're grabbing it from the outside, going towards the inside or the arch of your foot, and then left elbow will now sweep forward and all the way up, and adjusting yourself here. Now, this is going to help so much, right? Your shoulder mobility, this is like a half bow, right? So there's so many actions happening. Your shoulder mobility, your hip, socket, legs, even your glutes, and release. Whew, that's just an option. You don't really have to do that. That's just a way, you know, a lot of you like a lot of like flexibility work. And let's do that on the other side. All right, so bend the right knee, grab it from the inside. And why I said inside? Because this is just easier, right? If you can't grab the inside, then you could, of course, grab the outside. But again, I'm showing you deep stretches here. Right, from here, you're going to lift the knee up from the couch or the mat and all the way up. And again, you're going to twist your body to square your hips. Good. You're not really squared. Of course, one leg is lifted, but you get my point here, right? Like your kind of like hip joints are both in line with each other and all the way up. See this? Because of my scolio, this is like much bendier for me. It's interesting to observe. And just breathe. Right, release like that already. I don't do, so again, we're gonna flip grip, right? So palm facing up from the outside, grabbing your foot from the inside, flexing the foot so you can easily grab it. And then as you get a touch of grab your foot, your elbow will now splay out and towards front and up. Then all the way lifting your foot up. So like half full bow pose. Half full bow pose? Wow. Because it's half side, but it's a full bow. Does that make sense? Right, we're just holding and breathing and lifting it all the way up. Woo! intense, but I like that stretch. And let go, slowly. Whew. And at this point, I'm just going to be sitting on my knees and just counteracting to round a little bit the back. Breathe. And then you can play with some spinal waves to end. And that is it. I'm gonna face you. Thank you so much, guys, for practicing with me on the couch, on the bed, wherever you are, maybe on the mat. And yeah, do this every single day. It will really help with flexibility and your mobility. All right, I hope you enjoy that one, and let me know if you want more of this kind of like casual, long holds and relaxing type of stretching. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye!